Hello and welcome to Not Gambling Advice, the baseball betting stream on the Just Baseball Network. What's today? It's Wednesday, July 19th, and I'm going to try to win a bet. Going to try to win a bet. Even Mookie is upset. The bobblehead is down. I mean, what else can I say other than, it's been horrible. We're on the worst stretch of my entire life. But guess what? I'm going to keep trying. I don't know if you guys saw my TikTok video today. I said the OnlyFans revenue streams are looking pretty good, but I said I can't win a bet to save my life, right? We're going to do a quick recap. We're going to get into my two plays. We have some other cappers coming on who have been hitting bets, so hopefully you should be tailing those, but I just want to make sure for everybody listening to know that I am on the worst streak of my entire life, right? So let's just flash the Pikkit Sports leaderboard because, of course, this stream is brought to you by the Pikkit Sports app. All of our bets are tracked on Pikkit for transparency purposes. And Producer Cohen's going to drop the link in chat for you guys to download and use code Peter when you sync your sportsbook, and you'll win anywhere from $3 to $100. So as you can tell, personally, I have no idea how I'm still in the green. No idea. I must be rigging it for myself for some reason because I know that I am down 7.77 units. Maybe that means that the weekends have just been my downfall. And, depending on your opinion of me, you might be thankful of this. You might be, Peter, we're going to build it back. Either way, thank you for tuning in. I will be in Vegas. I got 3 friends' birthday. It's been a trip that we've been planning for like 6 months now, so I'll be out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then tomorrow, we unfortunately won't have a stream because there's only 2, maybe 3 night games. But I'll be on TikTok Live breaking down the slate anyway. So you're going to get my full thoughts, but it'll be on TikTok Live tomorrow. So this is our last stream before Monday, and let's end it with a bang. But first, we need to recap the dog water. The absolute dog water. Cincinnati at least kept it moderately close. 11-10, Christian Encarnacion Strand with the big home run, which would have won us the first 5, but we didn't take the first 5. We took the full game money line, and there was pain in the end. That ground ball double play by Jonathan India really hurt us, right? Joey Votto comes up next, hits the home run, gets it within 1. Even Spencer Steer gets on. Without that up and in fastball that for some reason Jonathan India decided to hit on the ground, which honestly is hard to hit on the ground. But regardless, that lost. And then Minnesota, Seattle. I mean, bad pick, right? Bad pick. But if we're going to lose a pick, we might as well learn something, right? We might as well learn something, and that's what I'm going to do today. Doubling down on the Minnesota Seattle under is rough. Yeah, I mean, I'm not on the under for sure, but I am on one side of that game. So we'll see what happens, right? Let's just see what happens. I'm just going to keep firing away and seeing what's working. But at some point, right, if I keep losing, there has to be a point where I take a break. So this is kind of a do or die day for me because and I've been getting a lot of DMs, which I appreciate. It's like, Peter, I'm in a hole. What should I do? At the end of the day, this is a long season. Like, this is a marathon. Like, you don't need to bet every day, right? Bet when you like. Right? I go into the night slate and I feel that I find something every day that I think is worth being actionable. But at some point, if I'm this bad, there has to be a point where I take a step back, right? We're not a company, we're not a stream that just, throws things out there for fun, right? We care about and I'm not putting anybody under the bus at all. I'm just saying, me personally, I don't want to put out picks if I'm losing people money, right? But I do like these 2 picks today, right? I would like them at the moment. I was up 18 units. I like them today. Process hasn't changed. So let's get after it today. All right? First pick of the day. First pick of the day is the San Diego Padres versus the Toronto Blue Jays at 7:07 p.m. Eastern. The pitching matchup is Yu Darvish versus Jose Barrios. Now, Alek Manoah made his second start after being sent down to the Florida Complex League, which he looks similar to what he was before. Padres went up early. Blue Jays kind of threw in the towel by not throwing at any of their bullpen arms. And I'm kind of regretting right? I think I was talking with Javon yesterday, and a lot of people were on Padres money line, and everybody was scared off it, right? At least people in chat, because so many people had the Padres money line, and it was basically on the belief that Alek Manoah is not back. I sort of bought into it. I not bought into it fully. I just thought, is this the day to fade Manoah? And it certainly was. But today we have a much better pitching matchup. Jose Barrios is going to take the mound for the Jays, one of the more underrated pitchers at this point when you consider his struggles from last year. When looking at his pitch data, there was a clear problem last season, and that was his four-seam fastball. Opponents hit .348 against his fastball last season, allowing 11 home runs and 15 doubles off just that pitch. He threw it north of 27% of the time and had almost zero success with it in 2022. Fast forward to this year, dropped the fastball usage to his career low and has been using it less and less as this season continues, right? That's the four-seam fastball painted. And when he uses it less, it can be much more effective. But that's the slurve. Let's see what this pitch is. That's more of the fastball. But, right, he can be more effective when he uses it much less, when hitters aren't sitting on it as much, right? So he's dropped it to career lows, and now, because he's more sinker slurve and his changeup, he's rocking the highest ground ball rate of his career because of that increased sinker and slurve usage. Now, the ERA estimators, you know the big ones, xERA, SIERA, xFIP, and FIP, tell us that Barrios is going to regress at some point, but nothing so drastic that it has me worried about his matchup today. His xERA at 4.57 is definitely not good, but his SIERA, xFIP, and FIP all sit around the high threes, and that's kind of what I think he is. He's not quite the pitcher that we saw in Minnesota, but he's much better than last year. And the key here today is he's been extremely tough on right-handed bats this season, which should allow him to succeed against the Padres, right, when we consider who are their right-handed bats. Ha-Seong Kim, Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts, Gary Sanchez will most likely all be in the lineup today, and facing a righty does put the Padres in the worst split overall this season. And this season, they have a league average offense against right-handed pitching by WRC+, 100 WRC+. Compare that to left-handed pitching, and they sit closer to a 113 WRC+. So we know that this Padres team is better against left-handed pitching. They're facing a pretty good righty today. And he's faced some Padres bats before, and it's gone really well by a quality of contact perspective. Through 61 plate appearances, which above 50 plate appearances is a good enough sample for us to look at, he's held them to a 232 batting average, 299 xWOBA, 371 expected slug, while striking them out at a 27.1% clip. We'd like to see that strikeout rate that high. Now, Yu Darvish is going to toe the rubber on the other side, who's just due for some positive regression. He's much better than his ERA would tell you. Every ERA estimator will tell you that he should be a pitcher in the 3.5 to 3.70 range. But he's had some tough starts, right? He's been a guy who, pitched in the Mexico series. He's just had some tough starts where that's not actually the Yu Darvish that we should be dealing with today. Now, the Blue Jays, they're in their better split against right-handed pitching overall at a 110 WRC+. But a lot of that production, and we've talked about it on this stream, talked about it in the past, a lot of that has come against fastball-dominant pitchers. What we know about Yu Darvish is he doesn't really throw the same ball more than once in an at-bat. They're going to see like 7 different pitches today. Yu Darvish should be able to keep them off balance throughout the entire game. Now, both bullpens come into this game with plenty of rest, right? Because yesterday was kind of a throwaway game, as both basically had an off day yesterday. Now, the Blue Jays bullpen has been fantastic. They rank number 1 in SIERA. This bullpen, I mean, we got to look at this bullpen as being one of the best in baseball up to this point in the season. Now, the Padres bullpen isn't great. Not here to tell you that it is. But they're very particular, kind of like the Twins bullpen. When their best arms are there, they can be good. It's when the bottom arms are there that they blow leads routinely. So the model has this game, and to be completely honest with you, the model has not really been helping. So today, I didn't really look at the model, kind of looked at it afterwards, if I'm being completely honest with you. They do like it. They have it at 8.5, right, and minus 103. So slightly in there on the model, which is a good thing. But overall, I'm just going with the under because I like it. I just like it, and I'm playing it. Also, weird stat for the people just to put in your back pocket. Doesn't really matter for this game because, there's variance. And I found this on Action Network. So in 2023, totals at 9 have gone under at a 55% rate. So whenever you see a 9 total, more often than not, it's going to go under, at least this season so far. So if you bet every total that was under 9 this season, you would be up 12 units. Why even analyze games? Just take under 9 no matter where you see it. You'd be up 12 units. Again, I don't put much stock into it. Just thought I'd share. Kind of cool. Do you know that, Cohen? It was on Action Network. I saw it. So it's a system, and they were like, it's 143 and 111 towards the under 9. No, it definitely can lose, but that's a weird thing, right? Under 9 total. So 9 is a very key number in baseball. So when you see 9.5s, 10s, those tend to go over. Sticking at 9, more often than not, they tend to go under. So I took the under 9 because of that only. Now, I obviously took it because I do like both starting pitchers. I love the Blue Jays bullpen, and I think the Padres bullpen can be effective enough to keep this under the total. Let's play a dog. Minnesota Twins versus Seattle Mariners at 9:40 p.m. Eastern. Also, how's everybody doing in chat? Astros bang. Astros up 4-0. We'd love to see that for the people. Peter, does Lane Thomas wake up a bit more today following his home run yesterday? I don't know. Hope so for your sake if you're going with Lane Thomas today. But we can talk about that in a little bit. Let's talk about why I'm on the Twins as a dog. So if you're going to lose a bet, at least learn from it. Now, did I learn enough? We'll see. But something I didn't factor in enough, which Javon talked about, which ended up being spot on, was Brian Woo's inability to get out lefties, right? The lefties really did him in yesterday. Realistically, kind of everyone did him in. But if we remember from that first inning, it was the lefties that did a lot of the damage. So my bias may have trickled in because I was like, and you guys know, right? I even see it in the comments. It's like, are we really betting on the Twins? It's the Twins. But it's a long season. The Twins are a good ball club, right? They're not terrible. But I got duped on the Twins and I was like, yeah, they have a lot of lefties, but I don't believe in them. That's where I made the mistake. He didn't get out those lefties. Brian Wu didn't, and he got bombed. Now, Luis Castillo shares a lot of those similar qualities. Lefties have really feasted on him this year. Also, this is a fun exercise. Can you pull up my article on justbaseball.com? I want to show them player A and player B. Also, I saw in Behind the Lines today, or at least I saw a clip, that they used this exact thing for Kenta Maeda. Did they steal my flow? I think they stole my flow. I'm calling you out, Krabs and Javon. You guys stole my flow. Nah, but let's talk about it. So, you able to share that? So, yeah, scroll down to player A and player B, right? Which pitcher would you rather have? Player A, player B, when we look at the peripherals, right? xERAs, very similar. FIPs, player A is a better FIP. xFIP, that's player B. Sierra, player A. Strikeout rate, the same. Walk rate, player B has the advantage. Player A has the advantage in hard hit rate. So everything that we look at would say that these two pitchers are rather similar. But then you look at the ERA, and player A, which is Kenta Maeda, has an ERA in the mid-5s, while player B is Luis Castillo with an ERA at 2.96. They haven't been much different than each other. And when we look at Maeda, you can go back to me for a second. So Maeda has also dominated the Mariners' bats over a 49 plate appearance sample. Not quite our 50 that we're looking for, but close enough. He's held them to a 152 batting average, a 233 xWOBA, 296 expected slugging. Really low quality of contact. Also, not exactly sure why, but again, just stacking small edges on top of each other. Maeda's only been good in road starts and night starts. Luckily, he has one today. He's pitched with a 3.15 ERA on the road and a 2.77 ERA at night. Kind of weird, but just something to monitor that this is a good spot for him historically this season. Now, this isn't truly a bet on Kenta Maeda, right? It's more of a fade on Luis Castillo against this specific offense. I do think Castillo. I've been talking too much. I need a sip of water. Just enjoy these highlights of Maeda right now. I do think Castillo is a great pitcher, But in terms of a split advantage, this is eerily similar to Brian Woo's disadvantages. So no matter what stat you look at, right, we can pull up Fangraphs and we can look at them instead of just reading them all out for you. Check out Fangraphs and go to splits. Look at Castillo. It's like a mid-fours FIP, mid-fours XFIP against lefties, much better against right-handed bats. He's not going to face that many righties today in this Twins lineup with what they're doing, right? So offensively, so now that we've gotten past the pitchers that Castillo is going to face an offense that the offense matches up well against him, and Kenta Maeda is at least pretty solid, right? Because when we're betting on a dog, we got to say, is the dog worth it? Offensively, the Twins are a better offense this season against right-handed pitching. They have a 108 WRC plus versus righties compared to a 100 WRC plus for the Mariners. In the last 30 days, the Mariners have improved, rocking a 110 WRC plus, but so have the Twins, who are up to a 121 WRC plus. This Twins offense, we got to give them credit here, folks. They've been much better lately. Now, it's the same thing over and over again with the Twins bullpen, right? The back end is fantastic. The bottom guys are not. They will go to Jorge Lopez, Griffin Jackson, Yohan Duran if they are winning, right? We talked about it yesterday, and we were like, the bullpens will matter if it's low scoring and it's close. Ended up not being close. They didn't use them, right? But they're all rested after yesterday because they didn't use them. And if they're losing, they won't use them. But if they're winning, that's what's key, right? So if Maeda ends up outdueling Luis Castillo, which I think is very possible, also Luis Castillo is a taco today, just saying, then we should get great Twins bullpen arms. The Mariners' arms are also very spent, especially only after Brian Woo gave them 3 innings yesterday. The only arms that haven't thrown 35 pitches or more in the last 3 days are Paul Sewald, who's their closer. So if Sewald comes in, Mariners are probably winning. Gabe Spire and Justin Topa. That's it, right? That's it in their entire bullpen. So the bullpen is spent. So what they need today is Luis Castillo to throw an excellent outing, or the Mariners bats just kill Maeda, which I don't think they will, in order for them to win this game. And as a minus 160 favorite, minus 155, I don't love it. So I bet the Twins today. Then I looked at the model, and the model thinks they're priced appropriately, that this is what it should be. I disagree. And I haven't really been looking at the model. I'm just trying to play what I want to play. Producer Cohen, what are you saying? Yeah, sure. Go ahead and show it. Go and show the model. Because the model has not been doing us kind lately, right? This is what they think it should be. Have we seen some line movement for the Twins? Let me check BetMGM. I mean, it literally doesn't matter at this point. We got closing line value. Do you guys know the Reds closed at plus 105 yesterday and didn't even win? And our total fell a full half run, and I think it ended 38-3. No, it's plus 125 on BetMGM. I would play at plus 125. I think they're going to win. Pete said, fuck them all. I did. The SQDL Virgins Fed Cake. We did. If I'm one of them, I would say I'm one of them. W ad top right. Are we getting ads in here? That's kind of sick. Bayo getting smoked right now. Twins hitters have looked a lot better post-All-Star game. I agree. No, I really did say F the model for today. I got to go with what I want to play at the end of the day. I mean, what has the model done for me lately? It's been great historically, and maybe it's a bad does Maeda have a better split? Yes, he does. Check it out. I just went over it, but yeah, check it out. Especially in road night games. Because he doesn't really have lefty-righty splits that are that drastic. I would say he's worse against right-handed bats, which could end up hurting us a little bit, but it's not so drastic like Luis Castillo's is. Let's talk about some dingers. So those are the 2 picks, right? Twins as a moneyline dog at plus 130, and we're rolling with the under 9 in Blue Jays Padres. What could go wrong? What could go wrong, producer code? Let's talk dingers. Dinger Wednesday. How about it? So we got to look at only the night game slate, right? So the night games are Brewers, Phillies. Look at the A's just beating the shit out of the Red Sox. You hate to see it. Brewers, Phillies, Padres, Blue Jays, Giants, Reds, Diamondbacks, Braves, Nationals, Cubs, Tigers, Royals, and Twins, Mariners. Who is up there that's a little bit sneaky? Let me see. Who's weird? I don't think Luis Robert ever hit a home run yesterday, did he? That first 5 under last night was rough, not going to lie. That one hurt the pocketbook. No doubt about it, Richie Parlay. Lost it in a minute. Hated it. Richie Parlay, I have a question for chat. Would you guys rather lose like we did on the Reds, where it was 11-10 and it was a backbreaker, or lose a bet instantly? I think I'd rather lose a bet instantly, because then you could kind of just move on. It's like, all right, bad pick. The Reds one was tougher, in my opinion. Instantly, no doubt. I totally agree with you. Instantly, especially we're all on the same page. The Reds one was way tougher. Instantly, so I could responsibly chase. We got to be better. And by we, I mean me. My home run pick, Reds was so tough. Who do I like? I haven't seen Jock this high in a while. But against Ashcraft, I don't. It's in Great American. Could you take a cutter and take it 450? Who do I like up here? Conforto. Anybody? What do you guys like? Chasing MLB live lines can send you into a rabbit hole, no doubt about it. Reds are winning today, one day early. I could see that. I could definitely see that. But I kind of like Ross Stripling, but there'll be picks on stream talking about the Reds. So if you like them, people will be pitching them. I'm going to go with Jock Peterson as my home run pick today. Give me Jock. What are his odds? Let's see what his odds are on BetMGM. Let's see what his odds are. Batting props. Does he have any weird odds? Jock Peterson plus 310. Ooh, Votto has some suspicious odds, but I feel like he's always been up here lately. Yeah, I like Jock Peterson. Outside of Joey Votto, he's got the lowest home run odds I'm currently seeing on BetMGM. I'm going to go with Jock Peterson. I like Peterson today. I think he goes, yeah. I know Ohtani does keep hitting home runs, and he's always high. No, producer Cohen is always like, why don't you just pick Ohtani? And I'm like, I guess.
Like, sure, it's square, but it's like, how about he just keeps hitting home runs?
Yeah.
Like, it's fine.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong one bit. Should we just go with it? No, no way he's hitting a home run today. 0 for 4 with 4 Ks. No, I'm going to go with Jock Peterson. I like that pick. We got to Jen. Let's get to Jen. Let's get to someone who actually wins bets. I
don't know about all that, brother.
How'd you do yesterday?
I think I went 1-2, and I got to tell you, my favorite read was the Diamondbacks, and even with that plus 1.5 going with the soft run line, these fuckers have 8 runs in the 6th inning, and I can't even enjoy my night because I'm sweating it out as they're down 11-8 because the Braves are a machine. Let me tell you something. It's July 19th. I've got friends who bet baseball, and they're starting to wave the white flag. It's tough.
It has been a very, very rough season. Like, I haven't last season. Just curious because, I'm in my own head with my own bets every day, right? And obviously, I could be biased considering that had a great season last year, worst stretch of my entire life betting anything this year. Have you felt that there has been a lot more variance this year, or am I just in my own head? Like a lot of things that, CLV line movement just hasn't happened, or am I in my own head?
You're a little bit in your head. I'll tell you, you had success last season. I started the season last year up about 18 units. I ended down 18 units.
You finished the entire MLB season down 18?
Yeah, and the problem for me was I started to change. I got in my own head. I started to change a lot of my strategies. I started to try to get too cute and call out what I say fake sharp lines all the time. And, like Ohtani's pitching against the Mariners, the line's moving towards the Mariners, but Ohtani was, like just certain things. And I'm like, oh, fuck that. I'm not going to go with the Mariners. I'm going to go with Ohtani. And the Mariners were the right side. So I changed my style. And that's one thing you really shouldn't do. If anything, I think you should just scale back and try to make sure, you have like your checklists of everything. The toughest thing for me so far, and this is, I opened up Pandora's box, and I don't know if anybody else is kind of in the same boat here, but I've tried to experiment with first fives. So I'm experimenting with first five money lines, run lines, totals. And man, I got to tell you, like more often than not, I'm picking the wrong spot, even if I have the right read. And I know I hate to say that and be like, oh, you're trying to give yourself a pat on the back, moral victory. This season, I'm still up 17 units in MLB, but it doesn't feel like I'm up because I was in April up 37 units out of the gate. It was insane. And then I lost 23. But what I'm trying to do, and I mean, I was on here yesterday telling you, Peter, I loved the Phillies. How was I going to play them? I said, I'm going to dodge a juice and take the run line. How did that turn out? They win 4-3. I told you I love Taj Bradley. I love that under. How am I going to play it? The Rays plus a half first five. They lose 1-0. You know what I mean? Like it's just, that's the bitch of baseball. You've got so many ways to where you like something and you lean into it, but you've got 5 different ways to play it. And it's really hard to pick the right one. And it eats you up. That's the thing. That's why a lot of people just say, fuck baseball, I'm over it, because you think you had it and then the bullpen blows it, or you should have played it a different way and you lose sleep. But I got to tell you, I'm a sick fuck, so I love the grind. I just scale back, try to bet responsibly, no nuking, you know what I mean? And I just use funny money with this stuff. So, but I don't know how anybody does this shit professionally, I got to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's extremely, like, for example, yesterday you're talking about the D-backs. You ended up being on the right side. Like, if you tell me the Reds put up 10 runs, would you bet Reds money line plus 120? They lost 11-10.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. You know what I wrote down on my stream on my whiteboard as my POD? The Diamondbacks team total over 4. I could have been done after the second inning. I'm sure you liked the Reds bats yesterday, didn't you?
I did.
Right? Yeah. So if you just played the Reds team total, me and you would have been cashing our fucking units, and we could have gone and get a burger at Culver's in the 4th inning.
It's so funny. It's so funny you say that, because I was like, the main point of that cap, I love the Reds bats against Desclafani. He was out in the second inning with 4 earned runs and just a battle of bullpens, and it was 11-10. Like, and I was like, I could take the Reds team total, but it was like minus 110, 4.5. Or something like that. And I was like, I just think they outlast them. And like, Reds won through the first 5, by the way, too. So they won through the first 5. They hit their team total. They lost 11-10. It's tough. It's a tough sport.
It is
but
tough.
I do love it.
I'm really not the kind of guy who likes to whine and complain about losses, but in no other sport.
It's good to just kind of like talk through, because I think talking through it also makes you better for the next time. We're not bitching. Like, I'm not complaining. No. I'm just like talking through our thought process.
Yeah, it's like sports betting therapy, and it's no other sport isn't more needed than baseball. And you're right, it is to get better, because I think you have to hone in on your mistakes to improve and pick better plays. But there's still a lot of season left, man. And I think in like a 2-week span, you can catch fire. That is one thing. Last year, I lost 9 bets in a row, and I followed it up with like a 32-5 run. So I'm really holding on to that and telling myself, like, in like a 2-week span, you can just catch fire, you can get right. So, but you just can't force it. That's the other bitch. So anyways, enough venting, I guess. I know I ramble a lot on my time here. I'm already 5 minutes in. Under in the Minnesota-Seattle game. You probably know my style, and you probably know why I'm already on this game. First 2 games in the series soared over. I know people like the under in the first game. Didn't happen. People were all over Brian Wu yesterday. Not even close. You too? All right. Well, I'm sorry. I was on under 7.5. Oh, DeGen, I was so smart. It closed at 7 minus 110. You know what the final score was? 85-80. It was one of the great offensive performances in the history of baseball. Yeah, no, I was sweating that because I took Taj Bradley. You would be proud. I took Taj Bradley strikeout leader last night. He had 9, and he tied with Domingo Germán. But I was texting Jovan, because obviously he's a Rays fan. I was like, bro, I think I might have had the read of the season. And he was like, you got to worry about Brian Wu. And I was like, fuck. I know Wu was pretty good with strikeouts, but then he said he's very corp today. And I was like, oh, I got a chance. Peter refused.
Wait, so I'm just curious. I've never taken a guy to lead strikeouts. If it pushes, is that a loss or do you push? I'm not sure.
So he was 20-1 and it paid. I think dead heat rules do apply. I don't know what Domingo was, but it paid 10-1.
Oh, so you won a 10-1 bet last night?
I did, but I don't feel good about that. Those
Who cares? Can you just take your money? No.
What? No. Yeah, but I'm not out here pitching it. I mean, the sides and the totals are really something that I think builds credibility.
No, I know.
That's
I'm just saying for you personally, like your mindset of like when you hit a bet like that, you're not like fired up. You just hit it 10-1.
No.
I mean, that's insane.
I'm not. No,
that's
I'm not.
Insane.
Because the way I lost the Phillies, the losses eat me up more than the wins make me happy.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
And that's my problem too. And that's something that gambling therapy, like you got to enjoy the wins. Because if that's been my issue, that when I win, I'm like, that's what was supposed to happen. When I lose, I'm like, and I can't.
Well, you know what else doesn't help anything at all? Our teams suck right now. The Rays are awful and the Yankees are awful.
I mean, the Yankees are way worse.
Oh, but I'm actually on the Yankees tonight. We'll get to that. Let me get to my play so I can get to the next guy. I'm terrible with tempo and pace. I'm sorry. But anyways, I don't need to make it. I don't need to spend too much time on this play. I'm going against the line move here. I believe it's 7 to 7.5. But I got to tell you, there's been a couple line moves that I've been happy to go against in the past couple days where they've been fine. I think Luis Severino, when he pitched, I really liked that because the opener was 8. That was suspiciously low, even though it shot up to 9. We saw I think the opener on the Rays game yesterday was 8 to 8.5. That stayed under. So I'm okay going against this line move. First 2 games sort over. I think this is the one where everybody says I've had enough. I'm tapping out. And I think this is the sleepy game where it's like a 2-1, 3-2. So give me the under. And also one thing that people should know, I like when, even if a line does move, if it's a half run or a half point, really in any sport, as long as that juice for me is on the opposite side, right? So it was over 7 minus 120. It moves to 7.5. Now the under is a premium, right? As long as that stays.
7.5 is minus 120. 7.5. Wait, under 7.5 is minus 120. 7.5 to the over is plus 100.
Right. So it's still. Why did somebody say raise bang? I know that's a fake bang. Why would you do that? That's so mean, Budman. Anyways, I got distracted. Sorry. I got to stop looking at the chat. So I like that. If the book still feels like there's a liability and there's a threat on that buyback on under 7.5, I feel pretty good about that. I value late buyback. I don't have to wait to see it. I'm just going to go ahead and strike. Give me the under 7 in the Minnesota-Seattle game.
No, I like it. No, it was the most fakest bang. I think that game's been over. It's 5-1.
Yeah, that was actually a over, same strategy that I played the over in that game. That didn't come close. Although, and again, no moral victories. The Rays are now defying odds. I mean, they had 4 straight innings with 2 hits, 0 runs. They ended up scoring a run, but I think they had 9 hits. And I'm not saying this as like, oh, I should have hit my bet, but they at least got hits. They can't score runs. They're pathetic. I am at my all-time low as a Rays fan right now this season, obviously. But anyways, we can move to my last play because I know I got to get off soon. Yankees. All right, Peter. Listen,
good luck.
here we go. And I'm going to tell you right now, the one thing I have had pretty good success with recently is pitchers. So when I feel, except I will say hand up, I thought about backing Julio Urias today. So that was not good. That was not good.
He's in trouble. There is something happening there.
I got a Cy Young ticket on him. Do you want it? I'll trade you.
Yeah, I'll give you my Rays to win the division ticket. We can just trade.
You got like a ham sandwich I can have. Anyways, give me the
I got Mariners. I got Mariners to win the World Series if you want that one.
Oh God. Well, yeah. Anyways, I'm taking the Yankees today, and it's really because I just have a feeling about Carlos Rodon, and I would love to spend more time. I know I got somebody on my ass at 5:05 coming up. I'd love to get your thoughts on Carlos Rodon.
You're good. We only have 4 people today, so and Mid Major just keeps giving us this. So talk about your play. You're all right.
Oh, Mid Major's behind me. That guy, he's on the West Coast. He's just getting out of bed. I don't give a fuck about that anymore. And yeah, Mateo Baker, that was a mean fake bang. Not nice at all. I actually even saw the Texas Rangers tweet that the game was final, and that Rays bang still got me a little shook. Anyways, I'm not a huge Carlos Rodon guy, so I know that you go out of your way to watch baseball every night, and that's great. I actually am starting to love the sport more and more. But it took me getting COVID for the second time to finally say, you know what? I'll watch a Giants Detroit Tigers game. And I watched Carlos Rodon.
Took you getting a plague to watch a baseball game? Come on.
Yeah. No, not a baseball game. We're talking the Tigers and the Giants, Peter.
Yeah. No,
But,
you know what I've been doing lately? You know what I've been
What?
doing lately? I'm just so fed up with some of my bets that I'm watching every other game that aren't my bets.
Oh, that it's almost more enjoyable that.
Yeah, I'm just watching baseball. I'm just for my podcast because like betting isn't my whole life. I also host a bunch of different podcasts where we just talk baseball, and like I'm watching all the other games. I'm like, these are great. I'm not on my ass every 10 seconds.
So I get the eyeball test on a few guys, right? Not every guy, but Rodon did not pass my eyeball test. But I trust the higher ups and the bigger baseball brains and the people who are paying this guy a lot of money that he is a good pitcher. So I'm going to put my scouting aside, which is very limited and not always that accurate. And I'm going to bet on Carlos Rodon here. And I feel like it's the time where I heard Javon say this yesterday, and I really like this angle. When you're gonna buy in on a team, a really trendy, popular team and a brand like the Cowboys or the Yankees, you want to do it when it's like they're at their all-time low or they're getting like shit on and social media and stuff like that. I know that hasn't worked out because they haven't won a game in this series.
Yeah, like Javon did that yesterday. I think he bet on the Yankees and like we suck. That wasn't even on Javon. That's on us.
Yes. I think I try to put myself in the mental state of a player, of a top player. And you've got certain guys who were brought in by teams and you know they're counting on you, they're leaning on you. And I feel like this is a really good spot for Carlos Rodon to show up. He hasn't looked great. I think he's pitched twice so far, but he also hasn't looked terrible. I think he allowed 2 earned runs and 4 earned runs. Not like he got totally blown up. Once in Colorado, maybe once against the Cubs. I think that's right. I don't have it in front of me. But I think a good spot here is for him to go out tonight. He's got 2 outings under his belt against an Angels team that, yeah, they've got some wins, but they're not necessarily lighting it up on the scoreboard in this series. I think maybe they scored 5 yesterday and they won an extras 4-3 the game before. But they've got to be feeling themselves a little bit. I know the Yankees are at an all-time low. Last game of the series, I think it means a lot to prevent getting swept. And I just think a guy like Carlos Rodon is going to go out there and say, all right, I'm going to try to do what I can to help my team win, and I'm going to try to pitch my ass off tonight. And I think he does, right? I know every pitcher every night is going out there saying, I want to pitch my ass off. But I think it means a little bit more because the Yankees really need a win, as do the Rays. So I don't know how to attack it. Kind of like Taj yesterday. I'm going with the first 5. I'm down to fade Silseth. And I guess that means I need something from the Yankees offense. Probably not a good idea. Maybe I should go first 5 under, but this is how I'm choosing to play it.
No, that's totally fair. I would and yeah, it's a 1 unit place. You're not laying juice. It's to win like what
0.67 or something like that.
Something like that. So here's how I spend my nights because I'm a sad baseball fan. I watch post-game pressers. I love a good post-game presser.
I love them.
I love them. I don't know
You
why.
learn a lot from them.
I learn a lot. And Rizzo, during his post-game presser after the Angels game yesterday, it looked like he was about to break down crying. This team is, I think, at the lowest point. So what you're saying is that if you're going to buy them at a low point, I've almost never seen emotionally the Yankees this low, right? Because the Angels were supposed to be that team that's, Tawny's gone, we suck, we got no more players left, Trout's hurt, and they're wiping us out of the building, right? We're getting, I think Jake Hazen was on the over yesterday. The Angels did their part. The Yankees couldn't hit at all. I think Sandoval had a 1-hitter through 6. It's the Yankees offense. So that's why it's like, I like to play because I agree with you. I think Rodon actually has kind of a remember who I am kind of start. But again, if I bet the Yankees, this is why I banned them, I'd go 0-162. I just don't know how our offense gets going against if you and I were to step on the mound. They just put up horrible at-bats game after game after game. Like, I think you might push because it might be 0-0.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with a push. That's why I'm playing the money line, not the run line.
Good stuff. No, I like the bet because at some point, like, for example, if this was the Yankees playing reasonably well, not even just the Yankees playing reasonably well, and this was the Carlos Rodon that we expect, This first 5 money line would be minus 200. So you're buying low at a very good price.
I think so. We'll see.
And I'm rooting for you because that means my team wins, which would be sick. But probably what happens is they do win the first 5 for you, and then we blow it at the end.
Oh, yeah. And as a Rays fan, let me tell you, I'd hate that.
But good stuff, my friend. As always,
right.
Dechen just feeding the people winners. Thank you, dude.
I don't know about that, man. I'm just trying to stay afloat here, all right?
You did. I gave people 0 winners yesterday. You gave them 1. So you are feeding winners, technically.
Fair enough. All right, man. Good luck tonight.
I'll talk to you.
Bye-bye.
All right, we got Lid Lager. You know what?
Tell me.
Back-to-back streams. This man in the nice shirt is leading everyone. I don't know. Producer Conan, can you flash that leaderboard for a second? Look at mid-major. He was down like 700 units like 2 weeks ago. Kid is battling. It's a story of perseverance. And I'm so excited to hear what you're on today. 6.5 units in 2 days.
First off.
And now he's back to mid-major. Or is that L? I can't tell on the screen. It's mid.
Get those glasses I talked about yesterday, Peter. You're going to need them. Producer Cohen can help you out and tell you what my name is today. First off, Peter, I want to say you're welcome to everybody in stream because I rewatched the VOD yesterday and the fucking spinning wheel, all that shit for Tucker, all those motherfuckers giving away money in the chat because of Jaime Candelario because I thought he was going to hit left-handed and all that shit. It was electric, Peter. Well done. You got all those bangs. You got banged, and I loved it.
So, no, but my issue with that was, you know how, it was supposed to be a $50 giveaway, and then I was like, well, Tucker won it again, so I gave him an extra $25, then I did 2 more $25 spins. I don't even remember who won, but I never got any DMs. Tucker, I sent him his money, but the 2 people won the $25 never DM'd me. I'm willing to pay. I said I'd do the giveaway. I haven't even gotten DMs from the other 2 people.
I'm not trying to hold you accountable, so don't get defensive here, okay, Peter?
Oh,
that's not who I am.
No, I'm more talking to the people in chat. If you haven't DM'd me yet, I owe people money. So that's all I'm saying.
Producer Cohen has the receipts, by the way, so don't be a dick and try to lie. But
you just chuckled.
One play today. It is off of, so it's the same thought as DGen as on the full game for the Mariners. I went first 5, specifically. Both bullpens, again, without Jorge Lopez is still coming back from IL, so I'm not a huge fan of what they're going to do with him. Peter is a man of his word. Absolutely. Tucker, I mean, you won all your money and you gave back everyone all that money in the subs yesterday.
Yeah,
you're a man of dignity. You're a man of integrity.
Man of dignity. Shout out
I've never seen you, but I know you're handsome. I can just fucking tell, Tucker. I can fucking tell. Back to not gambling advice. So, yes, Jorge Lopez, I'm not really sure what Baldelli's doing with him. And then outside of him, Griffin Jax is kind of up in the air. He hasn't pitched in a couple days either. Duran is, if they're not in a save opportunity, Baldelli just refuses to use him. And if you have a bullpen with Pagan and Moran, I don't really want to back that. Same thing with the Mariners. They looked atrocious yesterday. They did 2 of the better arms got blown up in Saucedo and Adcock, I think, out after Wu, but I mean, why would they throw their better arms regardless? But so I want to avoid the bullpens with how both coaches can throw random pieces in there. I want to isolate the first 5, and a couple of reasons why. Obviously, everyone backed the under in game 1. I think people on the stream backed the under on game 1. Went way over. People on the stream backed the under in game 2. Went over. And now, absolutely. Yeah, you got shit on yesterday. Thank you, Peter. I'm buddy of Dub Club, so thank you. Not thank you. Thank you. I got to play early, so I avoided the juice, though, so I do appreciate that. So, but Peter,
Keep going.
I'm trying to, pal. But nobody wants Maeda. He just pitched terribly. And again, I've been backing and talking about Castillo. His issue are lefty with power and just power bats. And if the Twins have anything, they have a lot of power bats, especially from the left side. But what I really like in this matchup, again, it's a sharp under, it's contrarian, as opposed to what the money's doing. But the issues with these lineups is that they swing and whiff a fuck ton. And that these 2 pitchers, if they do anything, Maeda can get a lot of fucking whiffs. And there's one thing that Castillo can do early and often is get a fucking lot of whiffs. And I think after both these offenses have seen early success against both opposing pitching staffs, I think early in this game we don't see high scoring whatsoever at all. I know per the numbers and per matchups that Castillo does have a poor matchup with the lefties that the power lefties that the Twins can pull out, but with their whiff percentage and with his ability to get those whiffs, I don't like either bats to do anything early and often. And that makes sense, as with that money now, the sharp money coming in the under and the juice now switching from the over now to the under, as you and DJ touched on the King of Sportsbook on BetMGM.
I'm also curious, just when you cap this game, and it's more just for my sanity.
Sure.
Did you like, because you were talking about how you think, because you really didn't have a problem with Maeda pitching, right? You think he's going to pitch well. And then you're worried a little bit about Castillo. You just think he's going to rack up the whiffs enough to pitch relatively well. Is there a reason why, like, for example, I'm on the Twins money line today.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any reason you didn't go with the Twins if you think the one way this could get blown up is Castillo? Or maybe I heard you wrong.
No, so I think Castillo pitches a gem also. Okay. I mean, he is a taco.
He is a taco today.
And that's fucking great point, Peter, because I forgot. He's a taco. Do you know what his fantasy score got bumped, what it opened up at? 39.5. So decent for at home to essentially record a win with 7.5 strikeouts. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah. He
was the taco, so it's bumped out to 6 strikeouts, Peter. Do you know what his fantasy score has it now?
No.
40.5. So we got tacoed and his fantasy score went fucking up, Peter. Where's the correlation there?
I know it's so hard. It's so hard with like conspiracy theory prize picks. Like,
yeah,
do you think it got bumped up because people are betting the over on it, or no?
No, but there's the thing though, because people are gonna take the taco because it's the fucking taco, and that's what we do. I mean, in California, I fucking love tacos. But how do you bump up his fantasy score when you bump down his strikeouts? Again, to be a discount. But why would you just make that move in the first place? I don't think he's one of the highest scoring pitchers, because if you look at the line, he's only a -150 favorite. At that number for his money line value, he has one of the highest fantasy scores on the board, which implies a lot, especially by a team that just lost by 5.
So you would lean the Mariners on the money.
I do lean on the Mariners, yeah. But again, I don't think either pitcher does poorly at all. I would lean the Mariners on the money line, but again, I could see them whiffing a fuck ton against Maeda, and I'm sure that had to play in your handicap as well.
No doubt about it.
Do
you have any more plays or just that one? I think it's just that
one. Just the one. Yeah.
Good stuff.
I mean, on Prize Picks, if they allowed me to take over 13.5 strikeouts for Castillo, I would. But they're soft, and they're not hanging that line. But just the one, I've been doing pretty well, focusing on one game and trying to isolate a play as opposed to just spraying the board or just looking at too many games and not spreading my time efficiently. Just the one, and I hope to be above Cam's money, who just disappeared off the face of this earth by tomorrow.
I texted him today. I haven't heard from him.
Yeah, I mean, again, he has a son on the way, so congratulations, Cam. Everything's healthy so far, but he's a working dad. Respect him for it.
Ben Carey, Cam, they're just having kids. I mean, last I checked, you have one arm for the kid, other arm for typing into Fangraphs what you're looking at for the day. Am I wrong?
Agreed. But which hand then types in the bets?
The left. You just go from here to here. I mean, they have a crib, don't they?
I'm not ambidextrous. I live in California. I have the luxury of everything being given to me. Are you ambidextrous?
I'm not ambidextrous, but I'm a freak athlete, and I can think and do two things at once.
That's right. You told me you can get a hit off of 1,000 attempts off Clayton Kershaw. So that tells me all I need to know about your mental state of your athleticism.
No, this was the context of the question.
Of not consecutive. Not consecutive 1,000 throws, though.
Yeah, they're all consecutive. So
as your co-producer Jack McMullen pointed out, that's your fucking rule, Peter. Nowhere in the world of sports does that exist.
So what? It's my rule. That's what I said I could. If he had to throw me 1,000 straight pitches, his arm's gonna fall off.
And in 1,000 at bats,
4 miles an hour.
Okay, so get a hit. So in 1,000 at bats consecutive, you think you have the physical dexterity to hit him?
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to outlast him. I'm not even going to try for the first 500. I'm going to be like kind of laying there, like, kind of swinging over the top of something. By the time he's at 800 straight pitches, like, I'm going to hit one the other way.
Peter, good luck on your bets, man. I don't know what to tell you about your mental state.
Thank you. We'll talk to you soon. All right. Good stuff.
See you guys.
Peace. Yeah, producer code. if you had wait, does everyone else hear that echo?
I don't hear anything.
Oh. If you had 1,000 straight, he can't rest.
People are gonna hate to hear this also, like a lot, but like in 1,000 straight, what is this at bats? I think if you guess fastball every time, like maybe you connect one time, right?
His arm's gonna fall off.
Just like I think if we're guessing fastball, we're getting a hit eventually. But Javon, where are you at? Come on.
Yeah, where's Javon? I see him typing in chat. I saw him pop up in the stream, and now he's gone. Classic Javon, just afraid. And also I have to call it Javon. I don't even know if it was him, but somebody stole my flow today on BTL. Somebody stole my flow. Another inheritance better. I thought that was Degen. Oh, Matt doesn't have a sunroof, so you know just have a sunroof. Javon, you stole my flow.
Did I?
Player A versus player B with Kenta Maeda versus Luis Castillo. I wrote that up this morning. Somebody stole my flow.
No way you did.
Look at
With
just
those numbers too?
Well, no, that was the same thing that I was like, I don't think he actually stole my flow, but I was still going to comment on it on stream because I had all the different ERA estimators.
Yeah.
I had like hard hit, or walk rate, strikeout rate, and all of them across the board are like, who would you take? They're all very similar. And then I saw the same thing, but it was different numbers. So I know you didn't actually, but I'm still calling you out.
You should. I can genuinely tell you I did not read your article. No disrespect, but I definitely didn't get it from there. But I mean, a lot of those numbers are crazy.
Yeah, they are crazy. They're very similar. So why don't you on the Twins?
Yeah, I'm taking my money and running after fading the world with Brian Wu yesterday.
Fair enough. That's fair enough. But let's you got some interesting plays, and you have some. I leaned both of these and didn't end up playing them. So I really want to hear why you ended up taking them.
Yeah, let's do it. Brewers money line. So I didn't think that I'd be saying this the way the year started with the Brewers against lefties, but not only like now are they serviceable against left-handed pitching, but in the last 30 days, they've been really, really good. Like a lot of the major categories there, top 10 in, like I was looking at, I mean, overall offense, WRC plus, they're 6th with a 114 WRC plus, ISO 181, sits 8th in the league in that span, 0.324 or 342 WOBA, which is 4th in the league. So they've been really, really good. And a lot of that's because of the resurgence of Yelich, who's been good lefty-lefty. Willie Adames has been really good. You got guys like Owen Miller and Contreras who were really successful on that split, but now they're really just hitting everything. But especially against lefties, they've been really, really good at the top of that lineup. And the guys at the bottom of the lineup are carrying their weight as well, whether it's a Weimer who's good in specific areas or Tyrone Taylor who's playing today, who I'm sneakily excited to see. But they've been good. So is Christopher Sanchez, though, to be fair. But I was looking at, the offenses he's faced. He's faced a lot of the offenses who are pretty poor against left-handed pitching, a.k.a. the Rays, who I don't really know where that's come from in the last little stretch here. Second worst in the league in that span.
Sorry.
Yeah, they're bad. They're bad. But he's faced them. He masterclass against them. Really good start against the A's, which they're bad in general, but especially bad against lefties. Facing Nationals, who are good against lefties or were good against lefties, but their numbers are regressing a little bit from the beginning of the season, just a tad. And then the one team that he did face that's somewhat comparable is the Padres, who are actually good against left-handed pitching. But, I mean, looking at the numbers that the Brewers have put up in the last 30 days, they're still far and beyond better than any challenge that Christopher Sanchez has faced in this last couple of starts, I guess you could say. So I think the Brewers bats are going to show out in a pretty big way today. And another thing about them too, like a lot of the teams, kind of like the Rays there, who not only struggle against left-handed pitching, but when they do have success, they rely on a lot of hard hit balls. The Rays in this little stretch have relied on a lot of home runs. Unfortunately, many of them are solo shots, but teams like that, that's where he's been successful too. And the Brewers, even though they've been so successful against left-handed pitching in the stretch, they're not hitting the ball hard. And it's not like they're sitting league average in BABIP. So it's not like they've been really fortunate either. It's just kind of the game that they're playing. So I think they're going to dink and dunk their way to a lot of runs off of Christopher Sanchez and hopefully get to that bullpen pretty early. And on the other side, whenever I take like Brewers with Colin Rea pitching, I just tell myself
You're a weird fan. You're like a weird fan of Colin Rea, aren't you?
The thing is, like, I'm really not. It's just like he comes up in a lot of situational games, and I never really even like include him as part of like
Just
the
say it.
handicap.
Just say it. You like him.
I mean, I don't. I just every time I come and I take a Brewers game with him in it, I just say he's going to be good enough today, and that's what I think he's going to be today. And it's really just the Brewers bats for me, and I think they're going to do enough here. So I love the Brewers.
And the only reason I'm asking this because I like to play. I'm just asking because DeJen and I were talking about you have a read on a guy, right? He was talking about Rodon against the Angels. You know, I was talking about how my main read in that Reds-Giants game was I love Reds bats against Esclafani. They get him out in the second inning. Giants still win. Is there any reason you didn't take Brewers team total like that? And the only reason I'm asking is because like in the middle of this beginning of the stream, that's what we were talking about.
Well, so initially, I mean, the reason line-wise why I didn't take it, I thought the line was a little short, and it's moved like a good bit, which I really don't understand why. From the time that I pushed this in to now, there's some like -1 or +120, which I thought was really strange in the first part. So that, along with the splits, whenever I look at a line, and that's my main reason for taking a play too, I kind of don't want to overcomplicate it. But there also was, for a while this morning, it was Brewers team total was 3.5 everywhere, like -150. Like nobody would move it up. Which now, of course, it's up to 4.5 at plus money. So I would have taken it now, but I'm still liking the money line, especially with the move there, which I thought was a little surprising.
Yeah, it's great. Do you think for someone just listening to this now who heard your pitch, like let's say, you know, they were like, I just really like these Brewers bats. They really liked your pitch. Would you take right now? So just on BetMGM, and I'm not trying to overcomplicate things. We just don't have that many people on stream today, so I just like talking it out. How many runs will the Brewers score? So 4.5 at +105. Do you think Brewers money line at +120 is a better bet than that? Or would you say, well, now I actually would switch based on it going down to +120?
I'm going to stick with the ML. The one thing that's on my side too is we do have Devin Williams, of course, available, and the full slew of arms that are going to be available.
Piamps is good.
Yeah, Piamps is good. I mean, they got. I don't want to take too much into stock like the Reds bats in the last series, really the last two series, because they've just been in a crazy slump. But a lot of those arms have shown really good stuff and improving stuff. So I feel really good about the status of their bullpen, not from a Reds investor perspective, of course, but feel confident.
The Brewers might win the division.
Relax. You know,
I know.
Before we get too wrapped up in the Brewers talk, let's get to the next pick.
Let's get to the next pick. There we go.
Yeah, we're taking the Reds. I've had enough Brewers slurping for the day. But in their little stretch here, like I've been trying to find mostly props, but little ways to back them and hope that they're going to bounce back. I rarely kind of like fully have endorsed them as like an official play and everything. I'm doing it today. I'm going to the grave with them today. Mostly because I look at pitchers that I've attacked in Great American Ballpark and against this Reds lineup. Ross Stripling fits that mold incredibly. We talk about guys like I want a guy who's going to fill up the strike zone, just over a 5% walk rate, 88th percentile. So I know he's going to do that. I want a guy who's going to give up hard contact, which he quite certainly does. 43% hard hit rate. I want a guy, especially with a high expected slugging, which usually comes to show its face when you go to Great American Ballpark or one of these friendly hitting environments, which he quite certainly does. Damn near 500 in that category. So fits the mold, and he's also just very bad. You look at his underlying statistics, and they're just all terrible. The one not concern, but thing to consider when you're talking about Ross Stripling is the fact that his leash is very short. I mean, a lot of these outings that they've used him in, they've utilized him as kind of a middle relief guy that they start essentially with him going just around 4 innings. But I don't know if they're going to have that same luxury today with, yesterday you had, first of all, I mean, talking about the full game money line, Camilo Doval pitched twice yesterday at the end of that first game.
Couldn't believe he was back in. I was like, are you kidding?
Yeah, so that's huge. But I mean, the rest of that bullpen, the Reds bullpen obviously got used quite a bit as well, but the Giants, that's their main strength, and it's come to show a little bit when they've been overused that they aren't able to sustain that. So coming off of yesterday, I don't know if they're going to be able to let Ross Stripling only go, 3 and change or 4 innings like they've done in a couple of these starts here. I think they're going to need to get some length out of him. And I like that because he sucks. And I love the matchup for a lot of the Reds bats against him. And then on the other side, Graham Ashcraft, who as soon as he got called back up, I was so excited because I knew he was going to be back. And I even, same thing that I did with Manoah, but just flipped. I was like, all right, he's back, but the first start back is not the one to back or fade. Like, compared to Manoah. And first start back was the Braves in Great American Ballpark. So I was like, yeah, let me give him one start. He got roughed up a little bit on paper, but actually the stuff looked really good for a majority of the start. Now he's come back since then, 6+ innings of 1-run ball in 3 of these starts.
A lot of weak grounders.
Which is huge. I mean, the stuff looks so much better. The fastball command is sharp. The off-speed command is leaps better than any flash that we saw earlier in the season. So maybe it was just him playing through injury, but whatever it is, he's back and he looks much better, and I'm buying in. Especially against this Giants offense that I can't tell you how ridiculous it's been watching this series, seeing all the fortunate BABIP type hits that they've been getting, the ones that haven't been going over the wall, with Wilmer Flores hitting 2 yesterday. Give me a break. But I think he pitches well, and I think the Reds snapped the streak tonight, their own little 6-game skid, and the Giants' 7th game winning streak, where everybody's starting to buy back into the Giants because they beat the Pirates and Rockies and the Reds on a really cold hitting streak here. So hang the banner for them. It ends today.
I like both picks. I really do. I was going to say one more thing. Now I forget. But I like the pitches. Any prize pick squares? Because you said you were sneaking some. Any just for the people? I know you're not playing an entry today, but are there any weirdos out there?
Any weirdos up there? Yeah. I mean, I would be lying if I said I wasn't really going all in on the board for that Reds game, which, man, I don't take these props too often, but Ross Stripling has given up 3 runs. I'll tell you that much. And the one thing that initially concerned me with that, and I wasn't all in on going, was the fact that he's been pretty limited, in a lot of these starts. But the more I looked into it, I was like, first of all, the books and prize picks know that as well as we do. But also, they're not going to have the luxury to do that because their bullpen, just as well as the Reds, got used quite a bit yesterday. So they're going to need some length out of them. And I was just falling in love with a lot of the matchups, which even the home run odds, whenever Joey Votto is sub plus 400, it's just an automatic nuke. He's like that.
But the thing is, I saw on Twitter, weren't you taking it a bunch of times at that price and it wasn't hitting, and then finally you did it? It
was back-to-back days, but it'd been hitting ever since he got called up for 2 weeks. It was hitting every time it was like that. Then it was like that 2 straight days over the weekend against the Brewers, nothing. Then yesterday, same thing happened. Now it's even lower than I think I've seen it at any point since he's been back. And also, Christian Encarnacion Strand is plus 240 to lead the game.
But it's funny. On BetMGM, he's plus 450.
Well, yeah, I know that. Well, I will say, BetMGM has some better prices line shop wise, but some other, I won't say names, but some other books like the ones in that screenshot, the order in which they put them is very telling. So that's why I pay attention there and bet them other places.
Good shit, my friend. All right. Anything else before you go?
No, stick there. I mean, talking props, Stripling, and I'll definitely be attacking a little Joey Votto hits, runs, and RBI, of course. And then Will Benson, half a base, best hitter for the Reds right now.
I said he should lead off.
He should. They got to let Ellie work through it, though. He needs ABs as much as I hate it in the moment.
I mean, he was just swinging through fastballs. I'm like, come on, dude.
It's pitiful. It's been. Yeah. I mean, the sad part is
he's such a freak because then he'll hit a 115-mile-an-hour double, and you're like, holy shit, what a player!
Yeah. It's just so confusing because right now, a lot of his best ABs have come from the right side, which is absolutely crazy to see that as of late. But he's going to turn it around eventually.
I feel like throughout his career, he's going to be this player, just kind of weird, and you never really know what you're going to get, and then he freaks out for 7 games. He's going to be a pretty streaky hitter, I think, for his career.
Well, too, what I think is going to be really good for him, a lot of these ABs, because of how bad the Reds offense has been over this last week or so stretch, it's been with nobody on base, where, his approach has very clearly looked like I'm going to go yard, or I'm going to try and hit 120 off the bat in the gap, with Encarnacion Strand down there, Will Benson down there more commonly now, and Spencer Steers getting moved down in the order to kind of pair with those guys too. I think he's going to have a lot more guys on base and RBI opportunities where, you look at those weeks before he started slumping, that was his best approach at the plate. A little short and sweet, getting those guys in, putting the ball in play. So praying and hoping he gets it right.
Good shit. 2 plays, 2 winners. Producer Conan, can you flash the leaderboard and show our guy Javon up at the very top? It's very close. But at the time we are speaking, Javon is our leader. Javon, we got the Brewers on the money line. We got the Reds on the money line. And Joey Votto's going yard. Good shit.
Little NL Central 2-piece. There you go.
Good shit. We'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, where's Gino? Gino. Can you come on now? Leaderboard, little weird. So many different numbers of picks. Leaderboard, little weird. So many different. Gino in bed with the syndicates as we speak. Peter, there's a spider on my wall. Are you screwing with me? Are you screwing with me? Fart tastes good, and all he said was L. Dejad, what are we talking about here? What? Javad could sell me spoiled milk. Spider fake bang. We got a spider fake bang. Like, Pete, you got way more bets than everyone. Yeah, I mean, I'm on here every day. Not everybody comes on every day. People like to come on when they love their plays. I'm always here delivering. But then again, I always love my plays. Paul on a roll today. Screw you, Paul. Fake bang, Paul. Paul moneyline free. What? Just everyone shut the hell up. You're at a disadvantage. No, I am at a disadvantage. Credit to me. Courageous guy. Courageous guy. I mean, you could make the argument that with more plays, I'm actually at an advantage. But I like the spin zone that I'm at a disadvantage. I like taking the excuse. Feels good. I'm at a disadvantage. It's not my fault. You hear that, Javon? You hear that, DeGen? I'm at a disadvantage. Props to me. Where the hell is Gino? He's got like 17 plays. Peter, sleeper team in the NFL this year. Sleeper meaning to make some noise regular season post. The Bears. I am buying Bears stock. You say Justin Fields won't take the next step up. I say he will. Just saying. Shouldn't hit and Pete. Move on. I ain't moving on. I don't believe in any team in that division. Plot twist. Producer Cohen is the syndicate. Producer Cohen was on the A's once. We take Justin Fields. I love Fields this year. I love the addition of DJ Moore. Remember their defense was hurt basically the entire season? You know why I love the Bears too? I like bad teams that like covered backdoor spreads like nothing. That's what they did, which means they're close. And you could disagree with me, but I think their defense is better. I think another year into that system with Justin Fields, I like the offense better. Remember, these teams have gone from worst to first, right? Jaguars went from worst to first. That can happen in the NFL. I just don't like, do you guys know that the most bet team to win their division is the Lions? And you turn on ESPN tonight because, of course, they're playing NFL Now instead of anything else, and they're talking football right now, which I understand people are getting excited, and my bets aren't hitting, so nobody wants to talk about baseball. Other people's are, but I'm just kidding. Everyone is picking the Lions. Everyone is just slotted in the Lions. Who was the luckiest team in the NFL last year? The Minnesota Vikings. Packers with Jordan Love, like, are they going to win the division? Probably not. I think the Bears have a very good shot of winning this division, and nobody wants to touch them. Jordan Love, MVP, odds suspiciously low. Yeah, I mean, literally shut up. 30-1. Is Jordan Love going to win the MVP? The one pro sports team that I'm a fan of that has a chance to be good, of course, is being slurped. Yeah, sports betting, Ryan, just take your cake and move on. I mean, like, you guys both, like, is everyone on earth going to be right about the Lions? Are the Vikings just going to be the luckiest team? Like, are the Vikings the guardians of this year? And the Packers have a guy who wished Happy Father's Day to the Bears. Is he going to win the division? No. I'm at plus 360 on the Bears. And guess what? It moved in the opposite direction. It's plus 400 now if you want a better number. Damn it. Thought I was being sharp. And they even traded for DJ Moore. Went up 40 points. They're winning the division, though. I really actually do like it, and I'm not just spewing shit. I bet on them. That is my first preseason bet. I bet it before the draft, before they got more. I am a believer in the Bears. I actually do like Javon saying Deshaun Watson 5,000 passing yard season incoming. The Bears already won. I think the Browns are a sleeping giant. I think the Browns are going to be good too. Plus 325 on my book now. Look at that. Sharp. Where's Gino? Chubb's touchdown seems free. You know, sneaky something. Josh Allen, I saw in an interview. I think he did week ago maybe. Said he wants to run less. I'm thinking about putting his under rushing yards in my season long entry. I know I can't trust Stefanski though. That's my problem. It's kind of like the Chargers with Staley. It's like, yeah, you got Justin Herbert. And that's why it's like when we rank quarterbacks, what would your guys' top 10 quarterbacks be? What would your guys' top 10 quarterbacks be? My rough draft list would be Mahomes at 1. Duh. And then it gets tough because I think 2 through 4 is Josh Allen, Burrow, and Herbert. And I don't know what order you would rank them because I always keep thinking like if Justin Herbert had T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, would he be also going to the Super Bowls? Another cool stat I learned. You know, in Joe Burrow's playoff history, the Bengals defense have more points scored in the fourth quarter than Joe Burrow does. You know that? I bet you didn't know that. You might have known that. And I also didn't confirm it. It is something I heard. So it could just also not be true, but I bet you haven't heard that one. Baker Mayfield. I agree. I have a Baker Mayfield Rams jersey. Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Hurts, Herbert. I think Hurts is 5. Just football fans. I'm just Gridiron fans. To Jen, check our TikTok. We got a 50 piece on there. Gino! Is that him? We're waiting for the internet to connect. We got to remember Gino is 88 years old. And I can make fun of him because no way he can hear me right now. Blaine Gabbert is a preseason lender. People forget. Gino, can you hear me? Nope. We'll get him back on here in a second. Mahomes. Oh, yeah. Let me keep going through my top 10 before Gino gets on. Because Gino will be our last one. So I'll talk about our top 10 quarterbacks. Why not? I mean, what are we doing? It's the dog days of summer. Let's just talk ball. I would go Mahomes. I think because if you put Justin Herbert on the Bengals, I think Justin Herbert is he better than Burrow? Burrow is just, there's something there. Burrow's he's got like a Jeter quality to him where there's just, you know, those intangibles that people think are bullshit. I do not think they're bullshit. Burrow has it. I don't know if Herbert has it, but I know Herbert is one of the most talented throwers of the football I've ever seen. But if Herbert was on the Bengals, would the Bengals have won a Super Bowl by now? I don't know. No, but I'm going to go, I will give Joe Burrow the credit. So I would go Mahomes, Allen, because I think Allen is like, the fact that Allen can toss around, like if Allen ran into Cam Chancellor, I think Allen would win. That's a little far-fetched. But you know what I mean. Allen, Burrow, Herbert, Hurts. People sleep on Stafford. He's not number 6. But Stafford is top 10. If he is healthy this year, you know how I can't bet on the Yankees? I was 3-0 last year betting on the Rams, and I faded the Rams. I'm much better betting on my Rams than I am betting on my Yankees. And we got Gino. Gino, before we get into the plays, I'm finishing up my top 10 quarterbacks.
Do it.
Mahomes, number 1. Josh Allen, 2. Burrow, 3. Herbert, 4. Hurts, 5. Am I off there? Who would you go 6? Brock Purdy?
Delusionally, I would, but I actually, if you made me really put Brock Purdy somewhere, I would say 10. And honestly, with as many wins as he has, dude, look at that record, man.
The 49ers have the best defense. They're scheming. Like, I think if you or I played quarterback, we'd go like 4-13. Like, we would be able to. I keep putting myself in the position of these professional athletes. I would lose every game, no doubt about it.
But be careful saying that because obviously it was a very tough injury in Philly. So
like, is Trey Lance going to be the quarterback this year?
No, Brock's going to get the nod. Brock will
think?
start. Oh God, without a doubt.
Okay.
He's undefeated.
No, I agree. I just like Trey Lance is a freak too.
Trey Lance, if you really want to be GM for a second, was the dumbest draft pick for a ready-to-win now Niners. He has the least college resume of anyone. Anyone in that draft was better than Trey Lance for us. It was an asinine pick.
They swung for the fences there. It was
Trey
like
Lance
was like he could be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, or he'll never make it and we'll be fine.
And that's the perfect guy to draft in the end of the first round to throw behind someone on a team that's not winning now.
Yeah, it was like when I remember that draft where the Redskins went RG3 then Kirk Cousins, kind of something like that.
Exactly. That's what should have happened. So, but dude, I'm ready. These Niners, our defense, we stole that D tackle from Philly. Like they're
going to be amazing again.
We're going to be mean. We're going to be meaner on defense. And I think, dude, so the whole NFL is hating on running backs right now, right?
Yeah.
We're probably the team that shows running backs the most love. Obviously, Tennessee has a freaking Derrick Henry, but in terms of we signed like 2 or 3 of them. But
you pay them like minimum wage.
No,
and you're just like, you could fit in our system.
We make them and then we sell them off. So we create. We make them look really good.
Remember Raheem Mostert for like 6 games when he was healthy looked like the greatest running back I've ever seen for the Niners.
And he should have stayed. He left just a little too early. These guys are short-sighted, man. But no, I genuinely believe resume is what's most collective. I'm not engaging talent. I'm just saying you have to put BCB in number 10, maybe 11.
No, I would go Lamar number 6.
Okay.
Who would I go 7? Like, does Deshaun Watson have to be in there? Because, like, when he's right and on the field.
Been, what, 3 years?
I know, but it's still Deshaun Watson. I know.
I don't know. So people hate this analogy, and I'm a little biased. They're very different players and quarterbacks, but the fall off of Kaepernick was fast and steep. I'm not saying Deshaun.
Cam Newton, same thing.
Cam Newton. So the only thing is, even if it's 25% of that fall off, then he's not top 10. So, but again, let's hear them all.
So I would go Lamar 6. I forgot. Trevor Lawrence needs to be 7. I think he's fantastic.
Of course.
Jalen Hurts was 5. Producer going.
I'd move him up a little, man. Honestly, dude.
Would you move him over Lamar? People sleep on Lamar. I think he's amazing. His
strength alone means he's going to have durability. Lamar's quick, but Lamar proved last year that he's, he missed a year. But
he's won an MVP. Has Trevor Lawrence won an MVP yet? I mean, it's very early. I know. But if we are projecting for next season, I don't hate Trevor Lawrence over Lamar Jackson. I don't. But I just feel like when Lamar is right, he's better than Jalen Hurts. I think when Lamar is right, he's much closer to the Herbert Burrow range than he is outside of the top 10.
I always tip my hat to you with baseball. My knowledge of schemas and football can be a little more respectable, or baseball, I just kind of embedding math. But I will say, I don't even think there should be an argument of Lawrence or Lamar who's better. It actually matters on who you're running back, your line, and your team.
Totally agree.
It's just like
that's kind of how it matters. Like if you put Herbert on the Bengals, is he better than Burrow?
There's a chance he competes, right? Or
yeah.
It looks better and he's stronger and mobile. So I agree. But I want to hear who's going to be over BCB. Let's keep going. Who's 8?
Who's 8?
You're going to say
like
1.
I would take Dak over Brock Purdy.
I mean,
how could you not? Come on.
Now you just lost me. We've beat Dak 2 years in a row.
Yeah, because the 49ers are way better than the Cowboys. If you put Dak on the 49ers, they're a better team than with Brock Purdy.
So I'm glad we found this is where the rubber meets the road. The immovable object meets the unstoppable force. I'm telling you, if you put BCB on the Cowboys, we wouldn't be having this conversation. You think the Cowboys aren't that good.
No, I do think that. I actually think the Cowboys are going to be good this year.
But I'm saying the reason why you thought they historically were worse than the Niners is because of Dak. The media hides behind his under 10 interceptions. He averages over 10 interceptions every time he plays more than 10 games.
Yeah, but interceptions are kind of like ERA in baseball. It's like, I mean, how many drop balls did the Cowboys had? I think they also Aaron Rodgers should be in the top 10. Like, I would take Aaron Rodgers over Brock Purdy. I mean, come on.
That would sound crazy to say no, but right now, after the resume we've seen, you have a 7-0 quarterback versus I like Aaron Rodgers, and I liked what he did when he stood up for himself and all of that. So I like the human. But as his age and the baggage he brings, I would not take Aaron Rodgers over BCB to build a team around. The upside.
Yeah, I mean, for the next 5 years, Aaron Rodgers is going to be 78 years old in a dark room by himself. But what I'm saying is this year, like if we're ranking quarterbacks for this year.
Like to win one game or the whole season? I would take BCB, dude. He's 7-0. We have no – if he is remotely the same as what he was, we're terrible.
But, you can't attribute wins to a quarterback. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the 49ers, I feel like, with Shanahan, have some of the best offensive schemes combined with who was the defensive coordinator who's now the head coach of the Texans? What was his name?
Defensive coordinator that's now the head coach of the Texans from our guys?
Yeah.
DeMarco Ryan. What's his name?
DeMeco Ryans. Like, he's amazing. There's a reason he's a head coach now. Like, the 49ers, I feel like, just breed talent. Like, the 49ers are almost in baseball. Like, what's a good comparison for them? I mean, they're kind of like the Rays in a way because the 49ers, what was their last Super Bowl? Montana.
But you're also, so again, I don't disagree. I just want to kind of turn this on its head. After seeing DeMeco Ryan pop out of the Niners, but I would say he just inherited what Robert Saleh built. So,
Fair.
like, is it –
But another head coach. Like, that's what I'm saying. The 49ers as a team are just so damn good at developing.
Yeah. I agree. Develop coaches. That's our draft strategy now is third-round draft picks from pushing off coaches. So, all I would say if I had to, sum this up from an organization standpoint, Brock Purdy went 7-0. I don't think any rookie ever did that. I get that most rookies don't inherit remotely what the Niners did, but he still went 7-0. And I was a big Jimmy G defender for years. The guy wins games. And Brock came in and took the lid off of the jar that Jimmy loosened. And it was just like,
He did have a lot of good 7-yard passes.
Right? And he also threaded some needles.
I know he did. Here are the quarterbacks I would take over Brock Purdy right now. I have a list pulled up.
So Dak, I will die on a hill. That's wrong. But
there's no way it's wrong. I would take Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Herbert. I would take Aaron Rodgers. I would take Lamar Jackson. I would take Jalen Hurts. I would take Trevor Lawrence.
Of course.
I would take Dak. I would.
That's false, but go.
Tua scares me, but
Brock, what are you talking about right now? BCB would put up the same numbers. You have 2 strikes now. Hold on. Yeah, 7 times. I don't think you can find 10, brother. I think I'm proving you can't find 10.
Well, no, I've already found 10. I would take Stafford over BCB for sure.
This is asinine. Stafford.
No, it's not, because Stafford got hurt last year. Now he sucks. He just won a Super Bowl and then got hurt.
He was one limp duck interception away from losing that game.
He was in the Super Bowl and won it.
That game, he played horrendously, and he threw the interception that was dropped. He threw the game-losing interception, and it was dropped.
Justin Fields is better than Brock Purdy.
That's a hard one to say no to.
We got to get back to baseball. People are like, baseball, please. All right, let's get back to baseball. What do we got on the slate today?
Y'all tell me. Did you guys get my 1.5 unit plus 155? I haven't seen the scoreboard. I climbed, right?
Yeah, I think so. Throw up the graphic for Gino.
Let's see the standings.
Let's see the standings. So right now you're in fourth. You're in fourth. You're killing it, baby.
I'll take it. I bet like a little hoe, so I'll take it.
New York Mets versus Chicago White Sox. That game is starting at 7:10. You like the over 8.5. Tell us why.
Yep. This one, so I have this. This goes back to what I would pay for a point. So I have this over at, you said minus 130, I think was the final straw. I see this as it should be over 9 at minus 115. So I am getting a half a run for only 15 points. That to me is a steal. I would pay 30 points of juice for a half a run. I think this true line, like no lines and odds, I call them the true lines, is plus minus 100, 9. So the reason I'm okay to go in there at minus 130, excuse me, the true line at 9 at minus 110 on each side. So I'm getting it for under 20 points on the dollar, which to me is a 10% ROI discount from the way I do math. I just think the true line here is 9. I'm getting a half a run free, but I'm paying for it, and I'm paying 10% less than I would pay for a half a run.
Fair enough. For right now in BetMGM, if people want to tail this, it is 9 at plus 100. You stay away because it's only half unit play for you.
No, it's if you want to gamble, it's action. You're getting it for you're getting it for the same value as me. You're getting plus 100 at something I think should be minus 110. 10 points of value. I'm getting 8.5 at minus 130 for something I think should be minus 120.
Fair enough.
6 one way, half a dozen the other. You're in bed with me, just like Arizona yesterday.
Let's keep going. Cincinnati versus San Francisco under 10.5. You're taking the under after an 11-10 game yesterday.
Yeah. So I actually don't think too much about yesterday's game as much as I think about the teams historically. The Cincy team was struggling to score for a long time. You'd know better than me, Petey, but how long was it that their team total was hitting? I want to say it was like 5 games.
I know it didn't hit for 4 against the Brewers. It didn't hit in the first 2 games, so that was at least 6. It might be 7, and then it hit yesterday.
Exactly. So the short memory pushed this up. I think you're getting a steal in this game. And I actually don't think the Giants score a lot here either. This is just going to be a nice little boring 5-4 game, 5-3, something like that. This value aside, this was my favorite play of the day.
Wow. Favorite play of the day. Okay.
Yeah. One thing about the Giants offense is it's clicking. And to me, it's that what goes up must come back down. And I'm a Giants fan, so it's hard for me to say. I just look at that lineup up and down, top to bottom. I'm like, how do they keep doing what they're doing?
I agree. I was on the Reds yesterday. They put up 11 runs.
The Reds high. I'm selling them high because I think they're going to go back to struggling. They had one good game. But I also always like my Giants under, especially in a ballpark that's, screams overs.
Fair. Let's D-backs money line again.
Brother, I mean, they paid me yesterday, so why would I go away? So this is a pure traditional Gino fade the public. Every square and their brother is going to be on Atlanta money line. They are going to whimper why they lost their money line parlays yesterday on Atlanta. And I cannot believe I got Atlanta at what I got them at yesterday. And I cannot believe, D-backs at what I'm getting them at today. There just isn't a planet where Atlanta has an almost 70% chance to beat these Diamondbacks. I actually have their offenses a lot closer than difference with different ballparks. So this is just a pure ROI, pure fade the public. I would only bet this as low as 165. But again, I see plus 180 right here.
Yeah, it's plus 180 right now on BetMGM. So if people I agree. I think I texted you this morning. We were texting and I was like, what do you think about the Braves? And it wasn't really like, I bet trusting my numbers. And I didn't end up betting the Braves because I agree with you. It's like, all right, now the Braves are minus 225. But the reason I was like considering the Braves was I was like, oh my gosh, what a dream matchup against Ryan Nelson. that was my thinking, but I'm like,
Sure.
I don't know exactly what Morton's going to do. I know 50 billion
Yeah.
people are on the Braves probably today, and I was like, all right, I'll just stay away, but I am going to kick myself.
And
I really do think that the Braves kick the shit out of Nelson.
And that's fair. And so this is what I would say to anyone. If you're going to bet the Braves today, do not bet them money line.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else.
You want to bet minus a half the first 5, you have my full condolences. But I will be on the Diamondbacks first 5 and game money line.
Wow. Okay, let's keep going. Twins, we're on the same side. Let's roll.
This was my play of the day from an ROI perspective. Even though I liked the Cincy SF this from an ROI perspective, this to me is just priced wrong.
I agree.
They should be anything more than plus 110. You're just giving me 15 points of value. You get 2 units from me.
I saw the line too, and that's why I was like, we were texting this morning. I was like, this Twins line feels off to me. Like, and then I looked in the starting pitchers. I was like, they're very similar. I know the Twins won yesterday, so people are expecting Castillo 2.96 ERA to bounce back, and maybe the Mariners win. It's baseball; anything can happen. But I was just like, this should be a minus 130 plus. It's funny. I was like, this should be minus 130 for the Mariners, not minus 155. It's too much.
Exactly. And anyone listening, guys, I'm a volume bettor, so don't put all your eggs in one basket with me. One of you mean listeners wrote me, thanks for the White Sox under yesterday. And I said, you're welcome for the Diamondbacks money line. And it's just like, if you're going to get hung up on one bet I make, you're never going to like me, because I lose a bet every day and I lose them badly every day, but I also win bets every day. So it's just like the number one DM that I get that I don't reply to, because I reply to most people, is what's your lock of the day if you only could bet one? Because I know what you're asking. You're in a bad spot and you want to go all in with the remaining money you can afford to lose. And I don't want my name next to that, because that's not how I bet. Even though I like this Twins bet and I have double the money, I wouldn't tell you go all in on the Twins today. I wouldn't tell you go all in on the Diamondbacks today. I actually think the Diamondbacks lose today, but magically, I don't think they lose 7 out of 10. So I have ROI. And I hope these rants help you guys out there that are newer to betting. I don't care what happens today. It's very hard for y'all new people to understand that. I don't care, because I know the Diamondbacks will win 3 of 10 games, and I'm going to be on them all 3 times over the next year, and I'll make back what I lost today. So if you don't bet like that, I'm not a good person to tail.
It's a very good point. It's an extremely good point. See, that's my biggest issue, is I get hung up on how did that not hit, doing all the research, and then sitting there being like, but in reality, and I do this, and that's why, I've been profitable long term. It's just in the moment, and then I take an hour and then I'm fine. But in the moment, I'm like,
yeah. And I like being a degen too, guys. I almost bet Twins minus 1.5. A couple books offer that. But then I was like, why? Just stop being greedy. Like, that's just natural. I wanted more. I think I saw it as high as like 182. And I was like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. That's just, they're getting me. I'm sticking to my money line.
fair enough. Did you, when you look, so like, did your model show plus 110? What was, because you were talking about how you think the true line is this 110. Is that what it showed? Or
my model showed 110. So plus 110 to 115. I don't bet this. Anything under 5% ROI. Sorry, my little one's going nuts.
You're good.
Anything under 5% ROI, I don't touch. I'm just like, oh, that's a cool lean. I'll tell people, guys like Pete or DMs that text me, I'll say my lean on that game is this. That's usually me telling you there's 5% of margin, I believe, but my margin of error is larger than that, so I don't put money on it. And so this one, why it got more love, 2 units, is I look like I'm getting 15 points. My world, Gino's world, thinks in increments of 5. So 5 points of value is my lean, no bet. 10 points is a half a unit. And then I grow from there. And then I use other system indicators. And like, if I like I gave Pete one of the pitching totals. Let's just say I like the earn run over on the Seattle pitcher. Then it becomes a unit and a half. Let's say I like a couple hitters on the Twins over bases or runs. Then it becomes 2 units. So that's all I do, guys, is I have a bunch of little incremental systems that equate to half a unit.
Fair enough, my friend. Also, before you go, Gino and Pete, what about thoughts on Diamondbacks plus 1.5 at plus 110? I see decent value there too. What do you think, Gino?
I like it a lot. The world is going to be on. So again, I said, if you're going to bet this on Atlanta, bet the minus 1.5 or minus 110. I don't like the bet. but just don't bet the money line in this game. There's no point, especially after what we saw yesterday. We have confident hitters coming to the plate. The only way to bet this game, in my opinion, is Diamondbacks money line, Diamondbacks plus 1.5, Diamondbacks plus 0.5 the first 5. If I was gonna bet, and you said, Gino, you have to bet Atlanta. How do you bet them? I would say minus 2.5 or nothing.
Yeah, just
I don't
take them to.
They're pipe dreams.
Yeah, especially at home too. They could be winning by 2, and like they just don't get to hit.
Yeah, they're pipe dreams. But I'd rather the money line, brother. To be honest, whoever that commented that, I'd rather the plus 180.
Yeah, Gino, plug your Twitter for people to follow. It's I think it's Gino Bet Openly.
Yeah, Gino.bet openly.
Perfect. Last thing before you go, because I think those are all your plays.
I got or if you want, I'll ask you. We'll just brainstorm. Has Colorado Houston started yet?
Oh yeah, that's 4 to the Astros just won 4-1.
Okay, well then I was going to give out a winner there. 4-1.
Yeah, what'd you have?
Give out the Nerfy at plus 170. God damn it. Okay, that's okay. We move past this. I got a bunch. If you want to build a prize picks, I got like a whole. If you want to build like a 3-teamer, just Gino, I got like 5 plays, and you tell me what hasn't started and what we can get, and I could give you guys a bunch of prop plays.
Yeah. Why don't we? We'll just look at the slate right now for the people.
So I'll give you players, and you tell me who hasn't started yet, and we'll go from there. Is Verlander gone yet? Was that on Houston?
Yeah, no. Verlander's going to pitch against the White Sox at 7:10, which is in about an hour.
I got 2 bets. I don't know. Do they let you correlate? Can
No.
you bet someone under outs and under Ks?
No.
Okay. So in that case, for a prize picks model, I would go the under 18.5 outs. If you can you tell me how many outs it is now?
Yeah, let me just tell you Verlander, because it's funny. He's the taco today. Did I just see Verlander? So Verlander has a 36.5 pitching fantasy score. He's discounted to 5 strikeouts and 98.5 pitches thrown. So,
and they don't do outs, right?
Well, they do sometimes. It's just not out.
Okay. Then, so sticking with that theme, whichever one, the discounted to under 5Ks, you lose a half there. In my opinion, I like the under 5.5 better, but I really like the under 98 pitches, and I know that's not a lot for the old horse, but I see him getting lit up today.
Interesting. So that's why you like the over.
Yeah, and again, that's why I like the over, and I also like a couple batters. So I look for value, guys. Let me just give you a narrative, and you do what you want with it. I like the White Sox team total. I like Verlander under pitches. I like the White Sox hitters at value over some of their bases and stuff like that, over some of their RBIs. So I just look for the most value in the narrative that I've made for this game. I don't see Verlander going deep into this game. So if I had to sum it up with one sentence, it's the under 98 pitches. That's
Fair
one,
enough.
guys. Do we have Castillo for Seattle that hasn't started yet?
Yes, we do. Who is also discounted on Prize Picks. They put his strikeouts at 6 instead of 7.5.
Oh, but what if you want to go the other way? What if you want to go under?
Yeah, I mean, they discounted it for a reason. Oh, no, you can bet under 7.5.
Okay, so I like the under 7.5. So, guys, what I would say, and again, I'm jealous of the model and the business that Prize Picks has. But what I would tell you is all data is good data. When they're discounting stuff, they're telling you most likely that sharp money came in on the other side.
Yeah.
So you can take the discount, and a lot of times those hooks get you. They're balancing their books. So again, that's not shady. That's not illegal. There's nothing. This is the business of balancing books. So that confirms that I like Castillo under 7.5 Ks. It's
a good thing to be on Twins money line. I hope.
Yeah. So I just wanted, and then the last one I would say, this aligns with my Arizona long shot. I do like Morton under Ks as well.
Morton. Let's see. He is at 6 strikeouts.
So you lost a half there, but I still like this, man. I have him modeled at 5 today. So, and then if you want to go a little deeper, tell me if I missed anyone. Has Cleveland started yet? Yeah, they already have. What about, I'm trying to get, has Milwaukee started yet? Yeah. Oh, no, Milwaukee hasn't started yet.
Yeah, no, Milwaukee has not started yet.
Colin Rea. Let's give you guys some overs. Sorry, I gave you too many unders. Colin Rea. What's that number?
4 strikeouts.
I love that. That is I don't do 2 units on props, but there is 2 units of value on that one. So it would be 2 units if I did 2 units on props, and I don't do that. So just say it's a good bet. Call Rea over 4.
Good shit, Gino. Thanks again for stopping by. Last thing for you. Everyone in chat thinks you're insane for the Brock Purdy love. Insane. And you are. You are insane.
I am insane, but I will be opening weekend in Pittsburgh watching him smoke the Steelers, and I'll be up at Jacksonville. Those are 2 good teams he's going to beat. Guys, the kid is 7-0.
If you give me Steelers plus 3.5, I will be on that.
I'll give you Steelers plus 6.5. Just
I'll be on that.
Just for looks and views. Let's introduce it. Give me like an edited clip, and I will literally say, I'm putting Steelers minus 6.5, and I'm giving you even money. Excuse me. Niners minus 6.5. You get Steelers plus 6.5 at even money. And you know what the worst part is, guys? Niners are square side in that game. It breaks my heart, but I bet the Niners every week. The sharp side on that play is Pitt plus 2.5 Pitt money line.
That's why I know that was always like, if you give me 3 in the hook, I'm taking 3
I'll
in
give
the
you
hook.
6.5 because
We'll be taking that. Gino, again, thank you, my friend. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Always
talk to you. Always a pleasure. Steelers are fake sharp line of week 1. We'll just have to see. Ladies and gentlemen, another good stream. I think we only had 4 people. We screwed around. We're just trying to have some fun. If I hear 7-0 overtime, football is upon us, people. But we got to hit some baseball bets. Come on. Mookie. Love you guys. All right. We'll talk to you soon. Peace out. Remember, this is the last day of stream until Monday. Thursday, we just have no night games. Friday, I'm going to be in Vegas. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we'll be back on stream on Monday. All right. Good luck. Twins money line might hit under 9 Rays or Blue Jays Padres. We'll see what happens. Love you guys. All right. Peace out.